once, and that one day I had put on a pair of boots that I'd forgotten one of them had a hole in the sole. So here I am on the stand. I'd crossed my legs, and I would glance over at the jury now and then, and they were all looking at me, and I couldn't figure it. And then I realized that I had that hole in the sole of my boot, which they could see.
Where your socks
And I realized that my big toe kept playing with that hole.
Oh.
Now, another lull in the proceedings. The judge is sitting right next to me in his high table, and I heard him all during my testimony leafing through something, indicating he was bored as hell.
Were these evidence?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, then he had, all the evidence had come up to his desk, and then it was all in there. He caught me looking at that, and then our eyes locked, and he said, "Oh, maybe I shouldn't." His indication, "Oh, I won't do that." Now, another funny thing with the judge, the prosecutor was asking me the location of my shop, and I couldn't remember one of the cross streets there, and I said, "Oh, it's I don't know." And the judge says, "Oh, it's Jones Street," and I looked at him like, "Yeah," and he looked at me, and he looked at my attorney, and he said, "Well, I went to school there." And then we're saying, "Well, you should have revealed that before. If that was the junior high, all this is not spoken." And then he got it, and he said to me and the attorney, "Well, that doesn't mean I won't be fair." Now comes the prosecutor at me. He's going to get me. He said, You studied psychology in college."
Why?
I did. I said, "I didn't study psychology. I've never had a psychology course in my life." He said, "You went to college and you never had any psychology?" One of these classic things where the lawyer should not ask a question that he doesn't already know the answer to. And he asked it again, and I said, "No." At which point, I wore glasses, and I took off my glasses. Now he had lost eye contact with me, and he started coming up like this. Damn, you're asking me to put my glasses on. Well, all this is puzzling to me, to the jury, and let's see, what else? There was some other strange thing. You implied I was a Hell's Angel. Something like I might be a Hell's Angel contact in this hippie world. So that was pretty much my time on the stand.
So by this time in the trial, how were you feeling? Were you scared that they were going to put you in jail? Did you feel like it was going the right way? Or were you just a cocky kid and didn't feel like it? Was it just sort of all a big joke? Or
every time I got confident and we scored a little, I kept remembering that I could go to jail.
Yeah.
And so I essentially was scared through the whole thing. Yeah, the night before the last day of the trial, into my shop comes a neighborhood kid. Andy is about 14 years old, angelic looking kid. He looked like he was about 10. Rosy cheeks, blonde of hair. I knew his mother pretty well. They were neighborhood people. Andy was concerned to her, and he says, "I got to tell you something. I'm going to be a witness against you tomorrow." I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "The cops have pressured me into testifying against you." I said, "What?" He said, angelic looking as he was, he had been involved in a burglary in the junior high school. And he said, "The cops let me off." But they've come to me now and said they want me to testify against you because they did me a favor, talk about scared. I said, oh God, are you serious?
The fix is in.
Once again, I called and he said, and there's the girl Mary that is also going to testify against you. If there was any regular type junior high school visitor, it was her. Pudgy girl, glasses, very silent. She'd come in and she'd look at the gallery. I called my lawyer and I said, what? And he said, if Andy comes back in, tell him you don't say a word to him, tell him to get out. And so the next day, the lawyer and I were sweating it. And sure as hell, they got Andy, this idyllic looking little guy up on the stand. And he says, they say to him, make the long story short, you've been in that shop. You've seen these dirty pictures. Has Doyle ever tried to get you behind that screen? And he said, no, are you crazy? He said, I love that shop. My mother loves it. In fact, everybody that I know really likes to go in that gallery and look at those pictures. They're very interesting. He said, sometimes my mother has to make an errand and Doyle babysits my little sister. And the prosecutor says, that's not what you told us in the hallway. Andy, you... And my lawyer gets up and says, you can't perjure your own witness. At which point, out goes in our favor. Andy blew us away.
So your attorney didn't even cross-examine him?
No, but here comes Mary. The DA says, Mary, tell us a little about yourself. And she says, I'm the top student in the school. And
wow.
All this kind of thing. Real intelligent girl. And she said, I know what you want me to say. You want me to say those photographs in some way corrupted me. She said, I go to the museum every weekend. I go to the... She said, this is funny. This is nothing. The jury's just taken aback. Look, God, I believe in you.